Okay. Let me see. Hello, Mike. How are you? Saludos to Mike. Mr. Blair, saludos. Saludos to Mr. Blair. Absolutely. You guys can hear me, right? Saludos to you as well, Mr. Blair. Can you guys hear me? Thank you. Thank you. Bad boy. Brit boy. Brit boy is here. Peace to you. Peace to you. Okay, so we don't know what's going on there. Okay, let's go here. Let's go here. Okay, I think we're good. We have 7 people. That's good enough for us. We don't need more than 7 people. To drop some knowledge, we don't need more than that. You know, we're good with 7 people. Okay. Let me see. Yes, gold on the move. You know it. I tried telling you. You know, I had some. Well, we'll talk about it in the live. Yes. We got 7 people. That's good enough for us. Here we go, boys. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update. As all of you know, if you are here, an organic subscriber, we are what we call a public service watch announcement. We give a free service to tomato cans, sandbags, crumb bums, window lickers. You understand me? We give you this, this information just for free because this is a public service watch announcement. And we try to cover many things, political, what's happening around the world, economy, and all that good stuff, We try real hard. And the only thing we ask from you people out there in TV land, we call you TV land, is to give us a thumbs up if you feel like you want to give me a thumbs up, And if you want to subscribe, you may also subscribe to the channel because, we like subscribers as well. But it doesn't really matter. To us, it's more our audience. Our audience is what really counts here. All right. So saludos, Mr. Dona. Welcome to the show. So we ask you for all that. And we try very, very hard to bring you the truth and nothing but the truth in this channel. Okay. Don't forget that. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start by saying that I've been for the last, and I'm telling you proudly, I've been for the last, safe, I'm going to say 3 years, 3 years, safely, 3 years, If you want to buy something, buy gold because everything else is dead. Everything else is dead. I've been saying that same catchphrases for 3 years easily. You can ask my audience. They'll tell you he's been saying it, And ladies and gentlemen, you saw where gold went to, and, sometime in October where it went all the way up, all the way up. It went all the way up. And I told you people, relax. Everything's going to be fine. And then it went down. It went down, 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 down. You know it, Mr. Blair. You know it. It went down, 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 down. You know it's safe. And people, ladies and gentlemen, started sending me messages and telling me about this person over there that's talking about gold. That person over there is talking about gold. And ladies and gentlemen, even some of our beautiful organic watch channel subscribers told me, this guy is saying that gold is going to go all the way down, to 3,400, and then it's going to go down to 2,900, and then it's going to stay in a number of 2,600. Papi, la situación está jodida. La situación está jodida. There's no money out there. Everything is upside down. The world is upside down. We are all upside down. Me and you are upside down. We're hanging like this, We might be thinking that we're standing straight, but we're not. We're upside down because esto está jodido. Esto está malo. And ladies and gentlemen, to my amazement, I got to tell you this, to my amazement, because it's not only about gold that we're talking about. We're talking about precious metal materials, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable what's happening out there, ladies and gentlemen. The troy ounce price of rhodium as of today is $8,125. Palladium, the troy ounce of palladium is $1,461. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever I get from the morning when I wake up, that's the one I'm going to give you, because it's going to play seesaw the whole day. Gold is going to play seesaw, but what it comes out with, that's the number I'm going to give you. That's the number I'm going to give you. Yo voy a morir con ese número. I'm going to die with that number, okay? So please understand what I'm saying. Platinum, the troy ounce of platinum is $1,604. And ladies and gentlemen, gold, pure gold, ladies and gentlemen, is at $4,224.77. Unbelievable. But ladies and gentlemen, the one that's going bananas again, I'm telling you, the one is going bananas, and it's the one that all of us can reach very easily. It's the one that we, this is what happened with that, that fake coin, that people bought it for, 70 cents, $9, and it went all the way up to $125,000, and this could happen. I'm not saying this going to happen, but listen, it's this white stuff is playing around with us, this white stuff, so we have to be very, very careful, the way it's behaving, and not acting kind of powerful. I'm talking about the white stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you this because you need to know, ladies and gentlemen, silver continues to look strong at crucial levels, crucial levels, and breaking, listen and learn, and breaking the $51.50. Ladies and gentlemen, today I saw silver. I'm in total disbelief, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in total disbelief, I saw silver today at $54.06. You do whatever you want. You know what I'm trying to say. You guys do whatever you want. I'm giving you information that's very valuable information, ladies and gentlemen. La plata, papi, la plata. Listen, not everybody, and I'm not saying this when I'm saying that not everybody can buy gold, but they can buy plata. No, I'm just saying that the big home run, the big grand slam, the big kaboom could be with la plata, with the white stuff, because, papi, and the thing is that everybody está agachado. Everybody's hiding. They don't want to, you know what I'm trying to say? Esto está jodido, this with silver. I mean that in a positive way. They're like, nobody's letting go of the silver. You go to Costco, there's no silver still. These people, what they wanted over there in the refineries, they wanted 99%, and most of the people have the scrap is 90%. But everything is going back up again and back up again and back up again. Y no hay dinero, papi, no hay dinero. There's no money out there. People don't know what to do. There's no money out there. Invest in the white stuff, man, the white stuff. Eso es lo que hay, papi. I told you guys, this is only, it happened. When did it hit $4,400? If I may ask any of you out there, when was it that gold hit $4,400? Please Google it for me and let me know. I'm going to tell you a story. I got to tell you a story, Okay, don't do that. Don't do that, but, buy the white stuff, The people that know about silver, they call it the white stuff, all right? Get it through your head. They call it the white stuff. A month ago, right? Okay, a few weeks ago, a month ago. Perfect. But Papi is back again at 42.24. 42.24 and going up. Y no va a parar. No va a parar. I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you something. You ever heard of this guy? His name is Robert Kiyosaki. You know, this guy, Robert Kiyosaki, he never gets nothing right, but he's unbelievable. He's a billionaire, but he never gets nothing right, you know? But I was listening to what this Mashugana was saying, you know? Robert Kiyosaki. I think he's over there from Japan, you know? Unbelievable. He writes books, you know? So this guy never gets nothing right. And you ask me why? I know. I look at him. He never gets nothing right. I try to see nothing. But for some reason, he's part of the owners of the world. And they give him, they give him that platform that he can say whatever he wants. And ladies and gentlemen, he only got one thing. Exactly. Rich man, poor man. That guy. He says something, and you got to listen to this because they all work together. Like the guy from BlackRock, Remember the guy from BlackRock? I forgot his name. The guy from BlackRock. They put him there a couple of weeks ago in front of the TV, and they told him, the owners, go out there now and do your schnick, go do your thing. The guy from you know what I'm trying to say. And ladies and gentlemen, he says something that the only thing he said in this statement was this. He says, ladies and gentlemen, it's unbelievable that Robert Kiyosaki, he predicts that Bitcoin is going to be $250,000, right? Larry, that guy, Think Larry. Thank you very much with this. He predicts that, that Bitcoin is going to go to $250,000. This is what he says, $250,000. This is the only one that I see something, because it's already at $4,200, right now. And he says, and gold. Ladies and gentlemen, that guy, Robert Kiyosaki, whatever you call him, that guy, he's a liar, He says that gold is going to go to 20. Listen to this. And I've been saying here for the longest, and all my sandbag friends, we've been talking about it, and they've been telling me, man, when this thing hits $26,000 a troy ounce is when I'm going to sell. But ladies and gentlemen, Robert Kiyosaki, he said that gold is going to hit $27,000 a troy ounce by the year 2026. In the year, it could be at the beginning of the 2026, in the middle, or at the end, That guy, Robert Kiyosaki, that guy, he's saying that. And that's the only thing that I see that maybe, let's flip a coin. Maybe it can happen for real, Maybe it can happen that, gold will go to $27,000 a troy ounce. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you something. It will be an explosion of millionaires and I don't know, billionaires, all over the place because, those people from over there, from the other side over there where they live at, where they wear those tunics, those people, what they have there. I'm telling you, they have a real Fort Knox over there. I don't know how they get it, but they got it all over there, and, and they're not showing us nothing over there in Fort Knox. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. He's writing it down right there. In Abu Dhabi, in India, China, all that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you one more time, don't fall asleep with silver. Ese es el macho. Ese es el macho pequeño. He's the small macho man, You got this big macho man, the wrestler Randy Savage, that guy. And then you got a smaller little Randy Savage. The smaller one is the white stuff, So you gotta be on top of this because, Bobby, they're gonna catch you sleeping. And I'm telling you, people are. I gotta say this. People are buying a silver like it's junk. Like it's junk. They don't care. Give me everything you have. Like that. Give me everything that you have. I'm gonna buy it from you. I'm going to give you, I don't know, a spot over this, a spot over that. But they're buying. Listen to what I'm telling you guys. One more time. Give me that white stuff. Put it there. Just throw it there. I'm not even going to count. You say that's there? Yeah, here it is. Here's your money. Here's your money. Get out of here. Bring me more. Like that. Because Papi is at $50, $54 a troy ounce. So people like they don't care. The big dogs, los monstruos, the monsters, they don't care. To them it's like it's not much. To me and you it is, but to them it's nothing, How many what do you have there? How many kilos you have in total? Give me everything. That type of stuff. And that's happening right now while we keep on thinking about let me get, which is nothing bad. It's great, guys. It's great. Let me get 10 ounces, These guys are saying, Papi, the way they figure it out, is, okay, so I'm buying it, an example, I'm buying it at $50. I'm paying them $51, right? Okay. The way they see it is, okay, so let's say that it drops, right? That it drops to $30, to $25. Papi, they don't give a frog. To them, it's like, okay, so we lost. Leave it there. Leave it there. Because what they're waiting for is for a home run. They're waiting for a $300 a troy ounce, a $400 troy ounce, a $500 troy ounce, and that's when they're going to cash in. You've been buying. There you go. You see? Coño, man, Frankie, you have to have a lot of them. And since 2011, you've been buying silver. That's exactly it. So right there, you have a testimony of Mr. Frank Rizzo that he's saying that he's been buying gold since 2011. So that means that he's been stacking it away and leave it there. Leave it there. I bought it for 15. I bought it for 20. Exactly. Crumb bums. Crumb for bums. Crumb for bums. But he has it. And that's what everybody is doing. They're not even looking at it. Yeah, so I spend it, so much an ounce and on silver. I bought so much, $500. It's there. But these people are buying, Papi, they're buying whatever you can get them. Whatever, because I don't think that the refineries are being very, very, letting it go, no, hold back, because they're thinking the same thing that everybody's thinking. They're thinking the same thing everybody's thinking, the kaboom. Exactly. Well, this is going to happen, guys. Esto viene por ahí. It's going to happen, Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you have to know this, that also we had a shutdown, and it's an unbelievable day, 43 days, 43 days in the, that's it. You got to keep on buying. Keep on buying. We got 43 days of that government shutdown, ladies and gentlemen. And they say that the government shutdown is over. They say it's over, but not everything is back in place and running, ladies and gentlemen. Not everything. We still have people out there doing crazy things. The things that you find out that us Americans do here in our country is unbelievable. When you start hearing the people that, they were fighting and they were asking for their formula and their food and the EBT and their SNAP and WIC and all that good stuff, they need that help. You feel bad. I'm one of them that I feel bad. But then you start hearing all these tricks that they do, these people, and you stay with your mouth open, like going to Mr. The guy from the grocery store and taking the food stamps, and I got here 300 for you, Kino. I have here 300 for you, Kino. And he said, okay, I'm at 50%. Okay, pay me. Boom. 150, give me 300. 150, give me 300. And this is something that is an epidemic. These people out there, they want to do acrylic nails and hair extensions and, all kind of things they want to do, injections for the lips and unbelievable, these people. They're taking all that money for their, children and they're cashing it in. And ladies and gentlemen, there's people, they're selling it 3 for 1, you know. Give me three, I got 300. Listen to this so you understand. Como estamos aquí, you know, this is why people are walking around like this. You know, the fent. Like that, you know, for 5 hours, standing like that. Because people are going crazy. You know what is to take $300 and you trade it for 100. You know, you trade 300, you know, 300 government, whatever, and you give me $100 bill because I'm going to do my hair extensions and my nails, acrylic nails. Papi, así estamos jodidos. Por eso que el sistema está como está. That's why the system is the way it is, man. You know, it's bad. And they're saying it, that these people are unbelievable the way they're living. You know, they don't, you know, these people están loco, you know. You know, están loco. This is why right now you're seeing gold, copper, you know, gain. You know, they're gaining, you know. They're gaining, you know. Copper and gold is gaining, and la gente está loca. You know, people are looking for other outs to make some other income because right now la situación está jodida. I keep on telling you always that the car business, the lots and the banks are packed with cars. You know, you guys don't see that because you guys have your go-lucky life and you have your car payment automatically taken out of your bank account and you don't see nothing and you don't. Pero papi, there's people out there they're picking up cars because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do with all the cars. And I'm talking to you about my city, South Miami, Florida. You know, aquí la gente está loca buying Ferraris, Lamborghinis. Y estamos virados al revés. Aquí no hay dinero en la calle, papi. There's no money out there. You know, I'm telling you, you know, esto está jodido. You know, and you guys have to understand. You know, you have a store that's in the middle of New York City. You know, a very big store, clothing store. You know, with a big name. You know, with a big powerful name, and the clothes are very expensive. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, these people, it's called Saks. You know, Saks off, you know, Fifth, Saks off Fifth over there, you know. Over there somewhere, you know, in the middle of the Upper East Side, you know, a Saks Fifth Avenue store. Papi, is gone. Se va pa'l carajo ya. They're gone. There's no more. The people want to continue buying. I'm telling you, for that company, you know, that company Amazon, you know, where they put 1 million robots to work now and they fire like around, I don't know, 125,000 people, you know. Exactly. You're right. You're not going to see that. Estamos jodidos. You know, we're upside down. You hear things, you know, you go, wow, man, this is like crazy, you know. You might think, oh, it's okay about a clothing store stocks, but okay. You also have the Red Cup, you know, Ribbon, you know, the Red Cup Ribbon, you know, Starbucks, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, over 65 stores across the country. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. 65 stores across the country, they're walking out on Starbucks. They don't want to work there no more, you know. They want chavo, they want to get paid. It's unbelievable what's happening in the world. The world's upside down. You don't understand. You don't understand. You gotta watch the movie The Network. You gotta watch the movie They Live, so you can see what's happening to us. We're becoming monsters without even knowing it. Estamos monstruos, you know. The Red Cup, you know. The Red Cup Ribbon. You know, it's unbelievable the names they put in everything. They're walking the streets with signs, you know, no more coffee for you guys. No more monkey coffee. You know, the monkey, the droppings of the monkey, those are the beans they use for your coffee. You don't know that? Now you know it now. You know, the monkey. Unbelievable with you, ladies and gentlemen. You guys don't know about this, ladies and gentlemen, you know? Ladies and gentlemen. Also, we have TSA. You know, TSA, you know, TSA. TSA, ladies and gentlemen, this is where, you hear these things, you hear these things and you go, wow, this is unbelievable. You know, the guy from Pennsylvania Avenue, He told the people over there from TSA, he told the people from TSA, you continue working here, we're gonna give you, a check, because you guys are being good people. The TSA, those people that, they check you, they basically molest you when you go to the airport, basically molest you. But it's what it is, you have to let it be, and so they told those people, you're not gonna believe this. The people, you're not. They're working the TSA. They told them that we're gonna give them a check for being good people. Obedient, for being obedient and coming to work. $10,000 a pop. $10,000 plus their salary. 10. But you have to qualify. If you make too much money, I don't know how that works. $10,000. And I also told you, ladies and gentlemen, that somebody showed me in this channel that, aircraft, traffic controllers are just like, policemen in traffic, calling the cars, come here, stop, with the white glove, the police, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff, that's what the aircraft do. And they told them too, for those aircraft people that were working there, and they were being obedient, and supporting, allegedly. Everything I'm saying is allegedly, allegedly. $10,000 as well. Esto es una locura. Lo que está pasando es una locura. What's happening is a crazy time. And I am telling you, ladies and gentlemen, maybe you forgot, but it was it was the other day when they were giving free money in this country. It was the most craziest thing. I thought that I saw the craziest thing with Hurricane Andrew in 1992, but what I saw in 2021, whatever, 20, whatever it was, it was crazy. It was a, grab, run, grab and run. And people that never, ever in their lives ate a lobster were eating 5 of them, 5 lobsters, and a bowl of shrimps. They were going crazy. 2 tomahawks, it was just crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, if they just, you might be thinking that I don't want it to happen. Yeah, exactly. But if they give that first check of a stimulus check, there's people out there, they're doing bad. And then from there, with that $2,000 check, they're going to open again that unemployment situation. They're going to open that again, and people are going to start, unemployment. Then they're going to go into the PPP loans, and then the SBA loans. Una locura. I don't. This is just what I'm saying. If they start giving out those $2,000 checks, and I don't know, does anybody know when do they plan to do that? Is it after the 2026, Oh my God. That's incredible, man, Mr. Donut. That's gross. Yes, vampires, man. So vampiro. And I'm just telling you right now, I told you something the other day about the 50-year mortgage, and I'll clarify it to you guys again, Don't think that guy from Pennsylvania Avenue was the one that, he was the architect of, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give these people. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, because, I listen to you guys, and most of the time you guys are right. But I believe that if you have a $3,000 mortgage on a 30-year fixed whatever, and you go to a 50-year mortgage, I believe what you save is $500, not $1,500. 5. If anybody here is a real estate agent, maybe they can correct us. But again, I'm going to tell you that guy from Pennsylvania Avenue, with all due respect, if you guys, really are in his team, the red or the blue, but exactly. They told them what to do. Coño, Wiki, you've been listening to me quiet, huh? They told them, they made a phone call. They salute, because all these people salute the owl. No matter listen to me, no matter if they're red or blue, they salute the same owl. You know, the Bohemian Grove. If I get a thunder lightning on my TV tower antenna, se jodió. You know, I'm not going to start all over, right? But that's how it is. You know, that's the situation. And I don't think for a moment that he got that. They're already planning because there's people out there, Papi, that they are upside down with houses that they took out a second mortgage, a balloon loan, and it's about to kaboom. And when that kabooms, you were paying in how can I say this? Please help me if I make sense, okay? Is real? Hey guys, he's asking me if Bohemian Grove is real. Let him know. He's a good guy. He's one of our subscribers. He's asking me that. There's a book out there. Maybe you should start with the book. So I don't know what I was saying because that's why when I get distracted, I get out of whack. Se me olvida lo que estaba hablando con ustedes. But don't think for a moment that the guy from Pennsylvania Avenue was the one that came with the idea of 50 years. Oh, I know what I was telling you. So you have a loan and it's about to come expire, and you're paying in that loan that you had it. I don't know for let's say, I'm just giving you numbers. You know what I'm trying to explain to you. 5-year loan, and after the 5 years, if you don't sell the house, boom, that thing you went from $3,000 of mortgage you were paying to $22,000, right? An example. Bobby, there's a bunch of people out there that have those loans. But I mean a bunch. You says you'll be surprised if you see them driving around their Range Rover, you know, in their red gold fast sports car. You know, it's an illusion that you're seeing, but they're about to get their life turned upside down. You don't know about that. You don't know about that. And I'm telling you, la vida al revés. They turn you upside down when they say you're paying $3,000, you know, a month. You know, exactly. Fake flexers. You know, you know what I'm saying, Thurston Howard III. You know what I'm trying to say. You know me. And it's happening now. So those people that salute, you know, the owl. Those people that hang out with the Bilderbergers, you know, those people that hang out with Vanguard, State Street, BlackRock, JP Morgan, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds. Those people, it's just all numbers. Papi, come on. Temo rich Fugazi. Exactly. Temo. Those are Temo fake rich people. Temo, they're fake. And the bankers tell you, Nieve, don't let that car fool you. That's how they tell me, and I look at them, and these people are their bankers. You know what I'm saying? Say, don't let those people, if I tell you, you know, we're not here saying names, but I'm telling you, that's how they tell me. If I show you their thing, they have 30 days left, and the house hasn't been sold. What's going to happen to the house, gentlemen? What's going to happen to the house? I'm asking Thurston Howell III. Only Thurston. Thurston, what's going to happen to the house? They haven't sold the house. They haven't sold the house. You're going to get lost. It's going to go in foreclosure. You know, like the Scrooge. You know the Scrooge in Wonderful Life? You know, with Jimmy Stewart. He went over there to see the guy, and he says, no, I can't do that to the people. You never seen It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart, you know? And he sits down, the father's there talking with the big shots, supposedly the Rothschilds. And he's telling him, I don't care, kick him out, get him out of there, put him in foreclosure. That's not my problem. That's how it is, man. That's how it is. It's not my problem. You know the Wonderful Life. And the little son, the guy that the Scrooge calls the father, he was like a bum, a crumb bum, and the little son got banned. And he said, "My father's not a crumb bum. My father's not a crumb bum. Back to the bank, Bobby. You know, it's gonna go back to the bank." But what I'm trying to say is, Not that house. Papi, it's all over. I don't, they say there's houses, they're about to come in the market again. There's going to be like a tsunami of houses. Because when you have that, papi, if you have a house and you're paying $5,000 a month of rent and you're making $75,000, which is good money, $75,000, but you can't pay $5,000 a month, Papa. How are you gonna pay $5,000 a month? You have to have two more people in the family. They're helping you out with that, to make $75,000. You gotta feed air conditioning, electricity, insurance. La gente tan loco. La gente tan loca. This is gonna be a. This is gonna be a. I don't want to use the word a bloodbath, but man, it's not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. It's not looking good. They're not gonna break even, papi. They're not gonna. Saludo, Renato. They're not gonna. It's gonna be a catastrophe. I'm telling you. You have a house that costs you're paying $5,000. But you get this balloon. Saludos, Aquiles. You get this balloon loan, and they give you 5 years. To live in that house, paying $5,000 a month. When the 5 years come in, that $5,000 is not going to be $5,000. It's going to be $25,000 a month. ¿Con qué culo se sienta la cucaracha? With what ass does the cockroach sit? You understand me? ¿Con qué? How? How are you going to pay $25,000 a mortgage a month? No, you don't have the resources. You can't. So you gotta. They're saying that those are the most houses that are out there, because a lot of people bought thinking, well, the housing market is hot now. I'm gonna be able to sell it. But I don't know too much about real estate. I believe that today is a buyer's market. I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna buy 30 cents on the dollar. And that's happening now, and it's gonna hit hard. And a lot of people that we have here in all these apartments by Hollandale, Hollywood, they're being squeezed. They're cockroaches. These people, the owners of the world, they're cockroaches. They're telling people they have an assessment of building out their condominiums because they have to fix the underground garage because it's leaking water, because they got to fix the balconies. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. And when they told Paco Gambino that he lived next to the Diplomat Hotel over in Hallandale, they told him he had to come with $100,000. $100,000 to fix the building. You live there, the association is asking for $100,000. You know what Paco says? Here's my keys, I gotta go. Poor Paco, he's been there since 1974. You gotta go. And they don't have no pity for you. Like the guy, the Scrooge, from It's a Wonderful Life. Throw them out of the house, get them out of the house, I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say, Frank Rizzo. Esto está malo, papi. Esto está malo. And then we're still thinking about the watches. They have a show, I'm telling you, they have a show tomorrow, and I think it's going to be a lot of people looking around, just looking around. That's it, because la situación está jodida. And with the watch market update that I'm going to give you in the next couple of minutes, it's going to blow your hair back and knock your socks off, because this is dead. You see, you got to be careful who you lowball, man. You got to be careful. So guys, really, be smart. Another thing I wanted to tell you. We saw today in a platform, a gentleman selling, listen to this, selling Rolex, yellow gold, Daytona, green Dow, John Mayer, a $38,700 retail watch. And it went all the way up at one moment to $180,000. A lot of window lickers, crayon eaters, tomato cans, got in a real big long line with lollipops in their mouth, ready to give away $180,000 for a Rolex Daytona John Mayer green Dow. The old old reference, you know? And ladies and gentlemen, this man had in his hand. So you understand what people were doing, and it's gross, you know? It really is gross to hear that. The guy had in his hands, each hand, he had three John Mayers in his hand, you know? Three in each hand. He has six. This guy has six, ladies and gentlemen. And the crazy thing was that he had them all there from every year, you know, every year. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, we were watching that. We were just watching it. I'm telling you, not even one person bit on what he was putting up. You know, he's already showing you, Papi. I gotta show you. Look what I have. I have six of these monsters, and I can't get rid of them. You know, I can't get rid of them. You understand me? So, para que no sean lambones, so you guys don't keep on hearing the number 70, 71, 72. No sean lambones. He didn't take him out to show off. You don't want to do that in this business. You don't want to do that. You don't want to show your rear end. You don't want to show your rear end. In business, you never show your rear end. Even if you're hurting, don't show your rear end. Don't show your ass. All right, guys? Don't show your ass. And this guy's already showing his ass. You know, I got these six. Year 18, 19, 20, you know, every year. He had them all. There was no takers. So, you know, because I'm saying this because people have been asking me about the John Mayer, Papi, the other one, the second generation John Mayer, they have it hidden away. Have you seen it around? They have it hidden away because that watch is dropping even faster. I'm gonna say something. And I'm gonna be wrong. Kino says the opposite. I say this. I say that the one that's gonna stay in macho, the strong guy is the John Mayer. That's what I believe, you know? Give it away. You give it away like the red hot chili peppers, man. You gotta stop giving your money away. You gotta stop being lambones and palomos. You got to. You know, you gotta stop because I'm telling you, the other one, listen, the watches they're holding back because they don't know what's happening. They don't know what to do. They did this to themselves. They don't know what to do with the how do you call it? The Iron Tiger, the root beer that you're paying like $50,000. You're paying $50,000 for the dial. You don't believe me? You're paying $50,000 for the dial. $50,000 you're paying for the dial. They don't know what to do. So let's hold back. Don't even put it out there because what price can we put it? How about that white gold Sprite with the green and black ceramic bezel on the green dial? With that ugly green dial. Because even the green dial doesn't even look good. It just, I don't even like it. How's that? Exactly. They don't know what to do. So then you have that watch. I already told you too, the Iron Tiger, whatever you call it, the white gold GMT Sprite, the Daytona, green dial, champagne gauges. They're not showing it because papi está jodido. I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a couple of friends of ours. They have this watch. They have the Rolex GMT stainless steel Jubilee Pepsi, red and blue ceramic bezel, black dial. And he's been trying to sell it for $18,500 and nobody's buying it. $18,500. $18,500. Okay? We're talking about a watch that came out in 2018. 2018. When it came out, that watch, how many years that watch has already? 8 years. And you're asking and you pay for the watch $8,000. Because I bought that watch. You when it first came out, $8,400. And you bought it over there in Antigua, $8,400. And they're asking, he can't sell it. Yeah, exactly. They can't. So tomorrow is a show, It's over here, in Miami and Coconut Grove, and people are gonna be there and doing their song and dance, and they're gonna see the truth. They're gonna see the truth. They're gonna see the truth. There's also another show coming here to Miami, another one, the real big one. Where all these lambones go to. Where all the deputy boxing black eyes goes, the Walrus fat bastard. The hungry hippo, Mr. Magoo, the two Jehovah Witness brothers, Big Pun and Heavy D, the two toddler body brothers. You know what I'm saying? Those people are gonna be there. Those people, the social media, que tanto cagado, because there's no hay nada allá, no hay más dinero. No hay más dinero, guys. I'm gonna give you a watch market update to get you guys, straightened out. Our first watch, ladies and gentlemen, is an FP Jorn automatic reserve Nacre. Nacre Dial. It's a discontinued watch, platinum, ladies and gentlemen, platinum. It was less than 100 of these watches produced. It's unbelievable. At one moment they were an independent, watch company. Now they're, unbelievable. These people, unbelievable watch. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, these watches are unbelievable. The pearl, nacre, the pearl nacre. It's unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, do yourself. Less than 100 produce. FP Jorn, a work of art. Van Gogh. Don't pay more. Platinum. Don't pay with a leather strap. Don't pay more than $216,000. You do whatever you want. Coño, look aquí, yo está ahí, papá. You know it. You know already. Don't pay more than that. If I told you what they were asking for that watch is gross. The guy from over there, from the other side, the guy with the, with the hat, the tunic man, the Iron Sheik tunic man. Papi, all day long, 550, all day long. Today está muerto. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. Rolex, white gold, Smurf. The Smurf, Rolex, white gold, Smurf, blue dial, blue bezel, ceramic bezel. Unbelievable, this watch, ladies and gentlemen. It's 40 millimeter, from the year 2014, 15, pam, pam. Don't pay for that. Don't care what they're telling you. 38, 39, 37.5, whatever. You pay for that watch, and if you have any problems, you cut a little clip of this video, you send it to one of your favorite Muppet boiler room secondary gray watch. Exactly, that one right there, papi, the Smurf, 40 millimeter. You send them that, and that's it. I come out, I straighten them out. I'll straighten them out quickly. Don't pay for that watch. Look at this gentleman right here. He knows what he's talking about. Mr. Premium knows what he's talking about. Don't pay for that watch more than $33,500. And okay? You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. It's your money. Ladies and gentlemen, next watch is a Vacheron Constantine Overseas 5500V Blue Dial Chrono. Blue Dial Chrono, papi, monster watch. Monster watch. Papi, I knew kids, man. They took from their, school money, every semester they will give the kids, $30,000, for the apartment and, for the, la comida, pay your tuition, your school, that kind of stuff. Poor kids. Coño, Mr. Donald, you're giving away too much money. I show you too much, but then you go, te vuelves loco. Giving money away, that 36 is the retail price of the watch, Mr. Donor. Be careful, please. And ladies and gentlemen, those kids went crazy, it's taking all that money, and I'm gonna do three semesters and put it away and then buy this watch. This watch, Vacheron Constantine Overseas 5500 V as in Victor. Blue dial chrono stainless steel with a 42.5 millimeter casing. Retail price is $35,600. Mr. Christopher Zier, Mr. Luxury Gentleman, is the one that hit it right in the frogging head. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Premium hit it right in the head, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pay for that watch more than $24,500. You do whatever you want. You gotta stop giving away your money. You gotta stop. I gotta control you people. Está regalando. Muy bien, Mr. Luxury Gentleman. I don't know who it was. Who put the $24,000 in? Please, let me see who you are. I want to remember you. I like that, Show me who you are. Give me a thumbs up. I know who you are. It's unbelievable, this channel. It's the best channel in the world. You know, best channel. We were chosen by no other than Fudinki as the best watch market update show in the world. You know, you do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly, it's a dog shelter, correct. Thank you. Gracias Luxury. Thank you. This is the watch that, you know, you say, wow, the Vacheron Constantin Overseas. Ultra thin. Reference number 2000. V as in Victor 120G. 40 millimeter. White gold with a silver white dial. You know, ultra thin. Papi, the retail price of this watch, is like, I don't know, it's like $60,000. You know, and it went all the way up, and people were asking 125, 110. You know, they were going, this is a beautiful watch, you know, beautiful Vacheron Constantin Ultra Thin White Gold 2000V. You know, unbelievable watch. 40 millimeter, 40. Not 41, not 45, 40. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Don't pay for that watch. Castígalo, papi, castígalo. You know, you got to punish him, bro. Punish him. You punish him. You want that watch? I got 72. Because this is a watch, it's very, la production was very, you know, pequeña, pícola, you know? So you punish him if you want it, you know? So don't pay for that watch. I already told you don't pay 72, but don't pay more. Don't pay more than $74,000. So you play with the 72, 74 if you want that watch, sir. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. It's going to go on the retail. It is. You're right. It's going to go. But I'm letting you guys know the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Rolex yellow gold date 40 millimeter white dial. Reference number 228238. Reference number 228238, white dial, yellow gold date. Retail price is $44,200. $44,200. You know, it's incredible what's happening in this business. It's really incredible what's happening. It's incredible. You know, don't pay. This is Mr. Donut. It's a Rolex date yellow gold. Rolex date yellow gold. You know, with a white dial. Date. You know, president. 40 millimeter. Reference number 228238. Retail price is $44,200. Don't pay for that watch. No matter if they twist your arm around, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay more. Don't pay more. Papi, this is a cinch. Don't tell me how you do it. What? White. The color is white. The dial is white. Plain Jane white. Roman numbers. Okay, give me the number now. You got everything. How much is it? Mr. Ricky, you cannot continue giving money away like that. You got to give it away to the animal shelter, man. You cannot give money away like that. You can't. One more because, please, let's help out Mr. Wicked. That was not a good one. Let's help him out, boys. What else? One more. Nobody knows? Nobody knows. Don't pay for that Rolex date. Yellow gold, white dial, 40 millimeter, 238. Coño, ahí está. Así me gusta. That's when I know they're learning. 238. Don't pay more than $35,000 and dropping. Okay? You do whatever you want, papi. You do whatever you want. You keep on giving your money away. Keep on giving it away. Give it away like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away. You know? You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, is an AP Royal Oak. Listen to this one. This is heavy, and I know all of you like this watch. The Rolex yellow gold date 40 millimeter. Said it wrong. The AP Royal Oak rose gold chrono green dial. Rose gold. Reference number 26240. 41 millimeter. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch, you know, when there's a watch that has meat left in the bone, I'm going to be the first to tell you. The retail price of that watch is $59,000. $59,000. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to tell you the truth. Does anybody know the price that I'm going to tell you about that watch? I already told you. I gave you a hint. It has meat left on the bone. Not a little meat. it has meat left in the bone because es un reloj que está bien cotizado. I will pay $72,000. Very good. And so would many of them too will pay 72. Many of them too. And I'm gonna have to tell you, with all my seriousness, sinceridad, I'm gonna have to tell you, don't pay for that watch. You ready? Don't pay for that watch more than $99,500. You do whatever you want. Green dial, wow. 67, you went low. Wow. Okay. Yes, it's still that watch, that watch is, es un reloj prestigioso, it's prestigious. People, that watch, that combination of the rose gold chrono with the green dial, it went to another category of selection of people. They're buying it, the ones that are buying it, it's a watch you put on your wrist and the panties drop to the floor, boom, to the floor, and that's it. You go like that, and rose gold, green dial, panty pal piso, to the floor. La llave, here's my keys. Unbelievable. I gotta stop saying that. My wife might be watching me. She's gracious, what you get me. Ladies and gentlemen, the next watch that I'm gonna give you is, you should, I'm gonna say this because we do have an organic watch channel subscriber that got this watch, and he did. He's one of ours, and he shared pictures in our private okay, I got you, Chris. In our private watch group, and he's send his pictures, his videos when he did the purchase. He was a lucky man. He really was, and well deserved. Very happy for him. We're going to be talking, ladies and gentlemen, about a Rolex that is very, very rare. It's a date, yellow gold, 36 millimeter, reference number 128238. If he's here right now and he's hearing it, maybe he'll be happy, maybe he'll be sad, with the price I'm going to give you. But, this watch has been behaving very, very powerful. When there's watches that you study them, and their droppings are, thousand, nothing big, thousand back, thousand down, like that. It plays around. And we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, this very rare watch, 36 millimeter, 128238. They call this the puzzle. They call this watch the puzzle dial. It has 31. If you don't know, it has 31 different emojis. 31 different emojis. And Papi, to get that watch, to get that watch, you gotta, you gotta. It's not even about greasing, It's not even about greasing up. It's like a platonic love you have to have with somebody in there, amor platónico. I don't want to get, you know what I'm trying to say. It's not even about, you have to have I'm in love with this person. I'm in love with Kino the way he is. Let me give it to him, Yellow gold, puzzle. And on the dial, it has 31 emojis, beautiful watch. And we had a subscriber that just got it a couple of days ago. Okay? It's the puzzle watch. That guy, the quarterback, he had it too, I think his name is Brady Todd or Tom or, the puzzle dial. And they saw that watch, and it was a 36 millimeter, I believe, too. He has a 36. And ladies and gentlemen, Alberto, this is for you. Don't pay if you're looking for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking for that beautiful Rolex, date 36, puzzle, yellow gold. Don't pay more, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pay more. You ready for this, boys? Don't pay more than $216,000. This watch at one moment was over $255,000. And that's where it's at. So, when you start hearing the words, people are getting this watch, but, you got to be doing favors. You got to be doing, as they say in that dark world, you got to be doing tricks, tricks are for kids, you know. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Ladies and gentlemen, I spoke to you about Gerard Perregaux, that they did this beautiful design, the Loretto, and I have a watch here for you that, so you see how these watches, at a moment there, that guy had it, yep, that guy had it, Tom Brady. This is the Gerard Perregaux Loretto. It's pink gold with an onyx black dial. Total casing and bracelet, pink gold. I mean, beautiful watch. It's a 42 millimeter. 42. Unbelievable, this watch. Ladies and gentlemen, the retail price of that watch is $57,000. And let me tell you guys, no kidding aside, at one moment you had this gentleman, which I call in a sweet way, I call him, trucking sweat stained hat with jumbo whiteout ears, small little hands, small little feet, with skin tight leotard jeans, unbelievable. He was pushing this watch like it was the next Paddock, like it was the next AP, like it was unbelievable. And, where even if you are a delinquent, even if you are un bandido, and you have to give some kind of credit, he was going in the right direction, pushing a watch that has been in the back burner for a long time. For whatever reason, the watch company has been going through many different, episodes and that, the Gerard Perregaux, they had that chandelier, all that stuff. But the watch has never really taken off. But I am gonna say that when he was pushing it with Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, Jiminy Cricket, with the Chia Pet spray can hair, the Walrus Fat Bastard, you had the Hindu brothers here in Miami, they're like 7 brothers with tape haircuts, with the initials in their hair, they were pushing it too. They had you guys there for a moment. That group, that little gang, had you guys for a moment until it collapsed. When everything collapsed, when the chandelier collapsed, se jodió todo. But that watch, they were about to, get you. And ladies and gentlemen, that watch, the retail price is $57,000. And I'm gonna tell you in a sweet way, don't pay more than $31,000. And ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you guys, this is a brand new 2025 in the box with everything. And that's how it is, like you say, wow, $57,000, don't pay more than 31, Okay, we should say a 60% off, but it's we gotta be fair. You know what it is? Be fair. Now check this out. This is another Gerard Perregaux. This is another Loretto. But ladies and gentlemen, this watch is a white dial Loretto, stainless steel with black gauges. It's a Panda. It's a Panda. White dial with the black gauges. 3 of them, chronograph watch, stainless steel, beautiful watch, 42 millimeter watch. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys want the reference number of this watch. Oh, fully the rose gold is fully rose gold, casing and bracelet, with a black onyx dial, So nice. Let me tell you, it's a nice watch. Do I want to pay $31,000, or would I pay $31,000 for a Rolex GMT white gold Pepsi with a black dial? Old reference, the first one. You can get them for $28,000. I'll get that. All right, just in case. But this one is a Panda, and it's a beautiful watch. And ladies and gentlemen, stainless steel with that beautiful dial. Nice big watch, 42 millimeter. The reference number of that watch, just in case you want to look for it, is the 81020111311A. Stainless steel, retail price is $19,500. And I'm going to tell you again, this is a pretty new watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $9,000. All right? It's a beautiful watch. I'm not telling none of you to buy it. As a matter of fact, don't buy it. All right? But people requested these watches, so I'm giving them out for them because they want to buy them. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex stainless steel GMT Jubilee, which is the red and blue ceramic bezel Pepsi. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. I'm telling you, you do what, papi. The only ones that are buying that watch are the ones that really want it and they don't can't pay it. But those dealers cannot move those watches. They cannot. Stick to this. Don't pay for it more. Probably they're asking $19,000 for that watch. Okay? The GMT Rolex Pepsi. Don't pay for it. I'm gonna tell you, don't pay more than $18,000. Work your way up to the 18.5, but show them the 18. We have friends of ours that cannot sell the watch. All right? That's one right there. Ladies and gentlemen, the next watch is a Rolex Titanium Yachtmaster. Black dial, black ceramic bezel. You know? Titanium, fully titanium. Beautiful watch. 42. I love this watch. Reference number 226620. Don't pay for that watch, and I mean this. You do whatever you want. Don't pay for that watch more. And it's up, down, up, down, up, down. You know, it's up, down. 226627, okay? Yeah, you got it there. Don't pay more than $23,000. Wow, good for you, Thurston. Good for you. Good for you. $23,000. Listen, guys, you guys are on point. What I'm trying to tell you is, no hay estilla. You have it, so you control the level of the conversation. You know, you go to a show or you go to a store and you go see the person that has that watch and you want to pay the 23 and he already knows you, say, come here for a second. You know, let him come around out of the counter and come and see you. Say, I come to see you and I don't want to create any kind of conflict. I'm going to show you how you do this. I'm going to show you. You go, come here. He said, what do you mean? Come here. I'm going to tell you something. He comes out. He tells you know the Yachtmaster you have there? I really want it. And he's going to say, you really want it? Well, buy it. I got for you here in my pocket. You see, I came ready for you. I got $23,000. That's what you need to do. You call him. You call him, he'll come around. I didn't want to make a scene in front of nobody there, you know, talking to people. This is what I'm telling you. That way, if you told me no, I can just walk away. Most of the time, probably when they see $23,000 and the watch is 24, they're going to give it to you. No sean lambones. I cannot continue, you know, teaching you people for free. You know, I can't. I can't be doing that. I can't. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Patek Philippe World Time Platinum 5131 complication enamel dial, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a beautiful watch, and the retail price of this watch is $127,780. Beautiful watch. Platinum, papi, platinum. You know, platinum, papa. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $121,000. And ladies and gentlemen, this is my last watch of the evening, so please enjoy it. It's a Rolex, excuse me, not a Rolex. It's an AP Royal Oak Rose Gold Perpetual Calendar with a silver white dial, 41 millimeter, reference number 26574OR. Beautiful watch, you know? Okay. Beautiful watch. And rose gold, like I'm telling you, it's a beautiful, beautiful watch. But ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch if you really want it. I mean, I wouldn't pay more than $123,000. All right, guys? And that's your watch market update for this beautiful day, for this beautiful evening. I ask all of you for a favor. Please don't forget to continue liking the video. Okay, guys? Liking the video. You know, we are in lockdown, total lockdown, all right? Again, I want to thank all of you for supporting the channel by being here, which that's the most important thing, that you guys are here, okay? I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And like we say always, take care and brush your hair. Good night, guys.